Hi, good morning. I'm Kelly from SoundCheck Entertainment, and here today we have JP Maurice from here in Vancouver, and he's going to give us a little bit of insight on what he's been up to. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you too.
So just tell us a little bit about how you came into the music business. Like, was it something you've always been into, or was something that just basically...
Yeah, pretty much. I played piano and sang from a very young age, and was really into sports and stuff when I was a kid. But when I got into my teenage years, I started really wanting to play music more and more. And when I was 12, the Beatles Anthology came out. I really got into that, and I love the Beatles, and I watched that, and I was like, I want to start a band and start playing music. So, but yeah, I was in a Motown band in high school, and that sort of was the first place I sort of cut my teeth and like playing lots of gigs, and I met the guys in my first band there.
Nice. And so now that you're into your solo career, do you write your own songs? Do you have like a team of songwriters that you work with?
I wish I had a team of songwriters I worked with. No, I definitely take a lot of pride in my songwriting, and I think aside from being a performer of my own music, that I take a lot of pride in being a producer and a songwriter. I've tried and make a trip down to LA once a year and do some songwriting trips, just work with different writers down there. But yeah, I'm actually in a bit of a dry spell right now. I'm hoping like once this album comes out, I'll kind of start that next phase. But yeah, songwriting is probably one of my bigger strengths as a musician.
And where do you get your inspiration from a lot of your songs?
It's mostly singing about my life and personal things that happen to me. I think I'm actually in like a really good place right now, and that's a concern about why I'm not writing. And I'm wondering if it's like only traumatic events. Yeah. Put you in that headspace to want to write, but sometimes like you write a song about a friend or something that happens that's funny, or but mostly it's heartbreak and love and loss and those kind of things. Or when you're going through those emotions, you're like thinking inwardly, and you want to be able to write something and get that off your chest, so to speak.
So how would you describe your music? Like popish, or
Popish.
ballads and popish. It's so hard these days because everything is so cross, genres and stuff.
Mom rock. Yeah, it's pop rock for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things that's hard to sort of define your own music, but yeah, I've always been really into pop music and melodies, and I like has like Paul Simon and Gord Downie and people who write, when there's poetry to their lyrics. I was really into Matthew Good growing up, and I always found him to be very poetic too. So I've always that's really been important to me in writing. But yeah, it's very based in pop for sure.
Now, your first album, The Arborist, came out in 2013, and you just released an EP earlier this year, Girls. I noticed there was a lot of change in the growth. And I noticed with this new EP, to me, there was a lot of resemblance to like One Republic for me. Just wondering what kind of growth you went through from your first album to this one.
Yeah, I mean, I played in a band for a number of years that was called Maurice, and but it would definitely function like we're all sort of equal partners in it, and we'd write everything together. And so The Arborist was sort of my first go at it alone. It was just me and my producer friend Adam Sutherland. So a lot of it was like, trying to write songs and sort of dial back a sort of like rock dynamic that was there, and try and figure out a different approach to it. But I think I was really sort of trying to figure out my sound and what I wanted to do. And with Girls and the Boys album coming out, because they were all sort of part of the same session, I think it's just a little bit more of that, sort of being able to figure out my sound a little bit more. But I definitely I became a partner in a recording studio in town, and it has a beautiful upright piano, so I started playing a lot of piano. And there's definitely that approach to a lot of the writing, because I grew up just writing on guitar and playing guitar mostly. So when you write from piano, I think it brings a different sort of vibe into the song, which is probably where the One Republic thing comes in.
Yeah, so you have a new album coming out in January, album release party at the Rickshaw in January on the 12th. What can we expect from that night? I mean, I wanted to, when I did my release for the Girls EP, I was at the Biltmore, and I love the Biltmore, but I kind of wanted to bring it into a bigger room and have some great bands on the bill. Small Town Artillery and Leisure Club are both two guys, Jamie Smale and Tom Van Derzen, who are the lead guys from those bands, are really good friends of mine. And the Rickshaw is just a great room, and gonna have a big band, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. That sounds great. So maybe we can get you to play one of your new songs?
Yeah, sure thing.
Great.
Whoa, whoa. Rules may change, but not like stop and go, and it remains. Heads up wide awake for days, ride the feelings, pass by the demons, traveling inside our thoughts. Maybe that's not saying much. Whoa, whoa. You've been crushed by the hands that draw you back. Better let it all play out. Never wait on anybody who needed love. Look what a nurture does, you pretty little thing. She never wait on anyone. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. You know the pain, won't hear you scream about it. Baby girl, don't talk so loud. There's more to life than what surrounds you. Ride the feelings, high as the ceiling. You pretty little thing, standing still, you're always leaving. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you're getting up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Whoa, whoa. It's time to give it up. Give it up. Go, if you get it up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you get it up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you get it up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Go, if you get it up, then you give it up. It's time to give it up and go. Whoa, whoa. It's time to give it up and go. Whoa, whoa. It's time to give it up.
And that was awesome there, JP. Thanks for sharing that song with us.
Thanks.
Now, not only do you have the album release coming out next month, you also are involved in a new CTV show called The Launch. And it's, I believe it's filmed in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Can you just tell us a little bit about what this show is all about?
Yeah, it's a brand new show, so everyone's really excited about it. But it's basically it's a new it's a reality TV music contest. They don't really like calling it that kind of show, but it's sort of like The Voice meets Dragon's Den. So you're like, it's all based around showcasing established artists, singers, performers, songwriters, with an opportunity to showcase for Scott Borchetta, who is who discovered Taylor Swift and has this Big Machine Records based out of Nashville. So it's sort of his brainchild. So it's him, and then you get to perform in a celebrity mentor and a songwriter producer, and if you're chosen, then you get to record a hit song. So it's sort of like the making of a hit song, and trying to show the general public what that looks like, and what an A&R meeting would look like if you're showcasing for people of that pedigree.
So this is just a Canadian contest of some sort. Just Canadians across the country is.
Yeah, it's it's all Bell Media and CTV and Scott Borchetta. So this is sort of the first go of the show, and they're hoping, if it's successful and does well, they can franchise it out to other countries. So they'd be launch Germany.
I noticed they had a lot of really great mentors, not even just Canadian mentors. Who are some of them that are going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, there's the first episode. I can say that basically the show, they're all standalone episodes. So the season premieres on January 11th. That's not the episode that I'm in, but and there's different mentors from each episode. So the first episode is Shania Twain. That's all.
Oh, okay.
They've released that, but I can't say who's the mentor on my episode. But yeah, there's Shania Twain, Nikki Sixx, Ryan Tedder from One Republic, Boy George.
Yeah.
I always want to say George Michael for some reason, but not George Michael.
No.
Unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. So that's awesome. In speaking with the mentors and stuff, is there anybody that you would really love to collaborate with down the road?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I try and write with even as many people as I can locally, like friends and peers that I look up to. All the mentors on that show are, it's once in a lifetime opportunity to get to play for people like that and get to collaborate with people like that. Like I said, I'm a big Beatles fan, so like if Paul McCartney called me up, I'd probably be pretty into that. But yeah, it was definitely, like I said, I can't say who my mentor was, but when you find out who it is and you go into that room and play for them, it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Is there any place on your bucket list that you want to play at?
I'd say Coachella main stage or Sasquatch Music Festival, probably. Sasquatch is just such a beautiful, the Gorge Amphitheater down in Washington is so beautiful, and that would just be a dream come true for sure. So
after January, with your album release, will you be touring, or what do you think is going to be going on? I haven't made any major plans for touring. I'm going to be doing some shows in BC. I want to get out to Toronto for CMW and to play out there after the episode comes out. But right now I'm kind of just like want to put out the album and let the episode of the TV show come out, and just sort of kind of let see how things play out. I want to just keep writing right now, and I have such a wealth of material, so I want to start working on the next album right away. Sounds good. Well, you've been pretty busy and you got a lot going on, so thank you for taking the time and sitting with us and telling us all about what's happening with you.
Thanks for having me out.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.